Hello everyone, today we are going to be taking a look at Hedera Hashgraph Hbar. Now those of you that watch me regularly will know that this is my largest position in the cryptocurrency space. It is one of many positions that I hold, but it happens to be the largest, and we've made lots of videos stating why that is. And we haven't made a Hedera Hashgraph video in a little while, and that's led many people to ask me what's going on, and that's what this video is predominantly going to be about. Towards the end of the video, we are going to be taking a look at Hedera Hashgraph's price, which, if you look at the kind of short-term chop that is going on and get kind of sucked into that, it may paint quite a negative picture. But when you zoom out, which is what we're going to be doing on this video, and you kind of look at where it is and where the likelihood of it going is, it's actually a very positive picture that is painted. But we're going to save the price action towards the end of the video. We're going to start the video off by talking about Nvidia and Dell. Now, Dell Technologies are a Hedera Hashgraph Governing Council member, and Nvidia this year partnered with Dell to essentially enable AI factories that will leverage Dell's CPUs, GPUs, and data, which we know that Dell is currently exploring enhancing with Hedera Hashgraph. And this is one of many reasons why I believe Hedera Hashgraph Hbar is going to do exceptionally well. When you look at it and compare it with other distributed ledgers, whether that be from an eco-friendly point of view, whether that be from a scalability point of view, whether that be from a real-world adoption point of view, whether that be from a fee point of view, whether that be from a developer point of view, whether that be from a institutional partner point of view. I mean, you only have to take a look at the Governing Council, and we're going to be looking at one of them in this video. You know, Hedera and its DAG technology really is at the forefront of distributed ledgers. And if there's a blockchain out there that is going to succeed, or a distributed ledger out there that's going to succeed, I think Hedera stands a damn good chance. And you're welcome to disagree with me in the comment section. We always encourage counter arguments. But we'll address the kind of price points of you towards the end of the video. Let's dive into what we have for you. We've got a couple of clips to take a look at, and the first place for us to start, of course, is with the Nvidia and Dell building an AI factory together news. So at a Nvidia conference, Dell Technologies unveiled the Dell AI Factory with Nvidia, a comprehensive set of enterprise AI solutions aimed to simplify the adoption and integration of AI for business. There is a recent talk coming up with Chainlink, Amazon, and Hedera, and one of the main topics actually is AI. We know that Lehman's, I think his PhD is actually in AI. So there's a massive crossover that really excites me with distributed ledgers and AI. They fit perfectly together, just like kind of computing, decentralized computing, and these kind of things, or edge computing in Dell's case. So Dell has also announced an enhancement to its flagship PowerEdge, let me give you the number, server, including options for liquid cooling, which allows a server to fully deliver capabilities of Nvidia's newly announced AI accelerator. So Dell's AI factory addresses the complexities enterprises face when implementing AI, from narrowing down impactful use cases to managing data. Remember this word, managing data, and ensuring performance and security. Now, we know, and we're going to be diving over to a clip in just a second, that one reason, specifically in the case of edge computing, which is what these AI factories are going to utilize, that Dell, one of the reasons they partnered and looking into Hedera is for the management of data. And actually, we're going to dive over to a clip of Steve Todd, Dell Technologies VP of Data Innovation and Strategies. We're going to dive over to a clip of him actually talking about how they're looking to use and utilize Hedera. So this video is really about installing some confidence back into Hedera. If you've lost it, I don't think there's a reason to have, but you can see that Dell Technologies are, and I think this was when was this actually announced, the joining of Hedera back in February 2023. You know, Dell is, of course, a part of the Hedera Governing Council. And I want to now dive over to a clip of the reasons why Dell became a Governing Council member to Hedera.
And so what made you decide, hey, this is the time for us to join the Governing Council of a blockchain?
Well, I think there's two reasons really, Zenobia. The first one is, as I mentioned, we have a lot of infrastructure products, and our customers are increasingly moving from centralizing them in one location to distributing them across multiple locations, whether it's multi-cloud or whether it's edge. So we believe that a distributed ledger will be a critical part of the architecture for edge computing. We need some sort of a trusted, multi-party way to communicate business transactions. And so Dell is increasingly exploring distributed ledger technology, and Hedera has that enterprise focus that we really liked. So that's reason number one that we've decided to join. The second reason is that our customers are increasingly interested, experimenting with writing applications that run on distributed ledgers. So for us, when we join the council, right, to actually implement a node, right, a Dell server running on the Hedera network, we'll gain valuable experience that we can and then turn and share with our customers and help them on their journey to use distributed ledgers.
Pretty insane. So Dell as a company has been doing absolutely spectacularly. You know, if you look at Dell's kind of stock price, it's just up and to the right. And Dell are massive. If you look at the role a company like Dell may play in a ever increasingly computerized world, it's a huge one. That's why they're doing so well. They're obviously now working with Nvidia to create AI factories that are going to use and utilize their CPUs and GPUs, and of course their whole computing system, which is going to require things like data, all of this kind of things. And they're actively looking to use Hedera in helping to solve some of the problems that arise in regards to that. So let's go ahead and play clip number 2 before we dive into some price action.
I want to go back to edge computing for a bit, because I think, that means different things sometimes to different people. So, when I see, for example, something in my local store, or, when I always think of the extreme of the edge, right? Like a server or something on an oil rig out in the ocean. What kinds of ways are people thinking about edge computing, across your customer base, and exactly how distributed is that?
There's probably 7 or 8 different verticals, right? At least, that are really growing with edge. Transportation is a great vertical. Retail, as you mentioned, going into a store. Medical is another one. And they all have this characteristic that data is being created far away from a data center, and it needs to be processed and handled immediately in a trusted way. And all of the thought leadership, all of the intellectual property, everything that we've built up in the data center, right? Somehow all that trust needs to make its way out into those regions or those locations where the data is being manufactured. So we think that there is likely a distributed ledger nearby somewhere that can help with this trusted processing of data. And that's why we think distributed ledgers and edge computing is such a strong match.
Pretty huge. So we know Dell, who recently partnered with Nvidia, are actively looking to use and utilize Hedera. They're one of many. Like I say, the governing council has 30 plus members on it, some of the largest institutions in the world. And Hedera is something that they're all kind of actively either doing pilots for or looking to utilize in some way, shape, or form. Let's now dive into what I think most of retail care about, and that is the price. Now, when you look at this chart, this kind of chop is very reminiscent, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, so just bear with me 1 second, guys. Very reminiscent to the IWM, which, those of you that aren't familiar, is the Russell 2000. This is a stock that we've been looking at for a while now. It was one of Stan Druckenmiller's sort of picks. If you look at where kind of this is, where Hedera is, it's in a kind of a basing range, what we would call a phase 1, what Wyckoff called Wyckoff accumulation, what Charles Dow called accumulation, and what Stan Weinstein called phase 1. It's in this kind of accumulation phase. And ultimately, after accumulation, most people only quote Wyckoff's accumulation distribution, but there's a middle and end part to that, and that is an uptrend and a downtrend, or a bull market and a bear market. Now, you're in this kind of stage at the moment for Hedera that the Russell 2000 was here before it broke out. You've been forming a base, you then get a breakout, you get consolidation around that breakout point, and then you see continuation, a significant move to the upside out of it. That essentially is where Hedera is today, ladies and gentlemen. I do think this is going to result in further upside in our assessment. And we will do a more in-depth price point of view, but you don't want to be interested in something when everybody else is. What you want to be interested in is, what is this project doing and how is it going to do in what is generally an uptrending market? I know there's a lot of people out there that are very much doubting Hedera. To me, it looks very similar to what Cardano did. And remember, I was a big investor in Cardano back in sort of the last bear market. You know, you can see a very similar thing going on here in regards to Hedera and Cardano. You're at this kind of point here. You've broken out and you're now kind of consolidating. You're doing it in a horrible, volatile manner. But then you'll likely see continuation with the space as a whole. I think we got a glimpse of the kind of price action and appreciation that we are going to see when retail properly enters the space. It's not here yet, guys. Retail really isn't here in regards to this crypto bull market. We got a glimpse of what we're going to see with the whole BlackRock news. You know, Hedera's price literally spiked up. You're going to see that, I think, consistently throughout this bull market for Hedera. And that's really with the interaction of retail. And they're going to come once this kind of accumulation period has sort of come to an end, which I think we're very much on the cusp of. If we look at Hedera in its kind of recent structure, I do think we are going to be setting up for some sort of a major break to the upside here, guys. You're very much sort of, this pullback is very much held within a kind of falling wedge scenario at a point that we've looked at, which is the kind of, obviously, this a lot less volatile, a far bigger index. This is Hedera, a very small altcoin. You know, really just sort of consolidating and chopping around, kind of like what the IWM did before it saw that broad upside. We're obviously bullish on the overall space. This is total 2. We have a target for this of 3.8 trillion. And actually more specifically to Hedera, we have a target for the others market cap, and Hedera is in both of these, of $2 trillion. It's only a 10x from where it currently is. You know, Hedera is going to perform well in that environment, potentially better than others. But there's volatility that comes with it. There's lots of people out there speculating on why the price isn't doing as well as people would like it to. You know, people talking about the Hedera Foundation dumping their Hedera, and obviously the individuals that get paid in Hbar doing a similar thing. I actually can't comment on that. I don't know. We are certainly not paid or affiliated with the Hbar Foundation. We just cover what we think is an extremely interesting and exciting distributed ledger, and hopefully highlighting Dell and what they're doing kind of puts that slant on it. And that's just one reason, I guess, to be bullish on Hedera and the kind of real world implementation of it. There are many. It's already one of the most used blockchains, if not the most used blockchains from a transaction per second point of view that there is, period, in this entire industry. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Hang in there. I know the price action sucks, very choppy, very volatile, but I think we've got some amazing days ahead of us, amazing weeks and months ahead of us. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.